Ian was a little bit out of practice. So it got us thinking about dating, especially if you're doing it for first time in absolutely ages. How hard is it to get back on that dating wheel later in life? Let's chat to someone now with a little bit more experience on the subject, 25 years, in fact. Alex Mellor-Brook co-founded Select Personal Introductions, which is based here in Lancashire. Now, Alex, you describe yourself, this is quite some title, dating expert, relationship coach, and internationally certified matchmaker.
Yes.
That's impressive.
Somebody said I sounded like a spy. I think it was Jeremy Kyle who said that one. So.
It's hard, isn't it? Is it difficult getting back on the dating scene, especially if you've not done it for such a long time?
It is, Graham. I mean, I talk about this a lot. Right now, dating is so diverse. It's incredible because so many people want a lot of different things. And you have to really be careful of this when you start dating. So if you are somebody who is looking to meet somebody and you want a long-term relationship, that's your goal. But what you have to do is make sure you're meeting the people with the similar kind of goals, because there are people out there who just want to date. They don't want the ties. Maybe they have come out of that long-term relationship and go, I just want to meet a few people, see how it goes. Some people just want to date, and that's all they want to do. So they're almost addicted to it. Because when you meet people new, so for instance, Ian at the moment, he will have a massive dopamine release going around his body. The chemicals will be bounced. He'll be on a high, and he'll be on a high for quite a while. So what he has to be careful of is that doesn't drive the relationship forward. Because what he'll do is, as you meet new people, what you need to do is you need to look at how they interact, how they are with you, how they are with other people, how the affirmations come forward. So you kind of get gauges. You work out who they are, and you work out, is that the kind of person I want to be with? So if you let that dopamine release run riot, you will go through all those kind of little red flags that we see, that maybe you meet somebody and you think, actually, I don't like the way they've just spoken to that way. So that's not very nice, because that may be a characteristic that they have, which will come out in that relationship that you have. So you've got people like that. You've got people who just want the affirmations of just having somebody give them that compliment. And that's all they want. So if you're online, for instance, you might be messaging somebody a lot of times, but actually don't get anything back after a while. And it's because they've had the affirmations, they don't want to physically meet. So it's really hard at the moment. And then when you look at somebody who's been in a long-term relationship, you've then got the aspect of, who are you? I always say, if somebody's been in a long-term relationship, stop, take some time out, because if you've been married for, say, 20 years, the person you started 20 years ago dating is very different to how you are now. We evolve, we change, and you're going to be covering topics about siblings and those kind of rivalries. Well, you as a child is very different to you as an adult, and how you deal with that. You change your thought processes, your values, some of those core values will have changed. And that's why sometimes arguments happen. And it's the same with a relationship. It is about friendship. So for Ian, he's been out of a relationship for a long time, so hopefully he'll have gained an idea of who he is, a sense of what he likes, what he enjoys. And if there's any listeners out there who just come out of a relationship, because of course we're at a time now where some people find themselves single again, don't worry about dating straight away. Take your time. Work out who you are. You need to go out. You need to just meet, build your network up. You need... If you've been in, I've got clients that I coach, so sometimes they've been in a toxic relationship, and really what they need to do is kind of break that down so they don't drag that toxicity with them into the next relationship. So it's about making sure they're clear on who they are, what they want, build that network of people around them, which is really important, and then make sure there's that positivity. If you've got friends there that are negative, putting you down, get rid of them. You do not need them in your life. You need positive. And start to do some activities as well. Build up that group of friends. Build up a new group of friends. Push yourself. It's great that Ian, for instance, is in 2023, he's pushing himself. He's pushing himself outside those boundaries of comfort zone, which is really, really important.
Is it, I don't know, if you go looking for it, is it Is it hard to find it? Because usually I hear stories that, I wasn't looking for anything, and if you're not looking for anything, you don't seem a little bit needy and desperate. And the ones that usually work just come and it just happens, and it slaps you across the face when you least expect it.
I think what it comes down to, again, it comes down to a coaching aspect. I work with people to work out exactly what are they looking for, because sometimes people are looking for the wrong thing.
Yeah.
So you get some people who go, I want this, I want that. It's like, why do you want all those things? If you write a list of everything, they go, this is what I want. You go, okay, so you don't want this, and you don't want somebody who gives you affirmation, who kind of backs you up, who can empathise, who can build that bond with. They want other materialistic things or physical attributes, and it's like they're actually looking at the wrong list. So I think once you get a proper idea of what's important to you in a partner, then you kind of spot it a lot easier. I think if you're looking too hard, it's like I always go back to that thing of, if you're looking for your car keys, you can walk past them 5 times, and they're there because you're looking too hard. And sometimes it's about just relaxing with it. And that's why I say, going out and meeting is a really, really important point. I've got clients who sometimes will almost filter if they're trying to date people. And I always say to them, look, the process of you going to meet somebody is really important for you. Don't look at that person and kind of project too far into the future, because they might not be the person you're going to spend the rest of your life with. But right now, it's important for you to sit in front of that person at the moment, our social skills are absolutely at rock bottom because of the pandemic. People are working from home. Well, that's just stripped people going out, getting on a train, getting on a bus, getting in a car, then walking to the coffee shop, then walking into the office, then talking to people. All that's gone.
Yeah.
It's like, if you can imagine an athlete doesn't turn up to the Olympics and run a race. No, they're kind of training, they're eating properly. And it's the same thing with you as a human being. You need these social skills. So going out and meeting somebody and just relaxing, it's like there are some times when people meet and they will just overindulge. They'll kind of give too much information, and it shouldn't be. It should be just a light-hearted conversation. How did the two of you connect? Do you get on? I mean, it's lovely that I was just listening to you there saying that Ian obviously is going for a second date, which is great, going for a walk, which is great. We found in the pandemic that some of our clients, that was fantastic, because rather than sitting in a coffee shop for maybe an hour, they were going for walks. Well, it was lasting like 2 hours. Yeah. Because what you've got there is if you buy yourself a coffee, pick somewhere that's populated so that you both, especially from a guy's perspective, the lady needs to feel safe. She needs to feel secure. So picking somewhere that's populated, enough people mulling around, but it also gives you distraction as you walk, which makes it a lot more entertaining rather than sitting opposite each other, which is very confrontational or in kind of an interview kind of process. So going for that walk is absolutely fantastic. If you have dogs, perfect. There's commonality there. It's a little bit of bonding time, which is great, as long as the dogs don't kick off and start fighting.
It's all about the dogs. It's all about the dogs, Alex. Alex, we'll have to leave it there, but thank you ever so much for joining us this morning. He knows what he's talking about, doesn't he, that guy?
Fascinating, isn't it, really?
Really interesting. And also the fact is, and I've said this before, the pandemic, people working from home, we've lost all social skills.
Yeah, we've become rubbish.
We miss out on stuff because people are at home, ferreting away, working ever so hard, I'm sure, and they're detached. They're detached from what's happening with people to work with people, aren't they? Just detached. And those little conversations, those little ideas, those little things which spark up, maybe in the office or your workplace or whatever, they're missed, aren't they? Because people are at home, working away, busy, doing all that. We're going to catch up with Ian later.